Coming up tonight at 6, turning the old into something new. A look at plans to renovate a century-old apartment building into affordable housing. Plus, a child injured in the Waukesha parade tragedy has died on the same day the suspect made his first court appearance. And a new last-minute chance for Northland families in need to celebrate the holiday. We'll explain how you can take part next.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening. I'm Briggs LaSavage. Kristen is off tonight. Thanks for joining us. A building in Duluth with a challenging and storied past could soon turn over a new leaf. Today, One Roof Community Housing, the current owners of the brownstone apartment buildings on East 4th Street, gave details into a fire that broke out in that very building on Friday night. They say because of those flames, the building needs to stay vacant for now, something that will help speed up their plans for a new housing development. CBS's Quinn Gorham explains why.
It's all part of One Roof's plan to completely revitalize this area of the community, and it's a two-part plan involving two different properties. If you take a look at the block behind me, this block was purchased by One Roof 5 years ago as part of their development project called the Brewery Creek Apartments. That'll be on the east end of the block down there. Those two buildings will be torn down for that project, but this one right here, the brownstone apartments right behind me, that will remain intact. One Roof had plans to sell the building as early as 2 years ago, but for that to happen, all residents needed to move out. The state's eviction moratorium during the pandemic made it impossible for them to close on a sale. However, recently that rule was lifted, paving the way for the nonprofit to finally move forward, asking residents to be out by the end of this month. In a turn of events, a fire Friday night knocked out the building's utilities, condemning the remaining units. That means the building is now completely empty and ready for sale. Gary Eckenberg with One Roof says whoever's hands the building falls into in the end will have to follow the nonprofit's vision.
The purchase, as we understand it, will fulfill both their needs, the neighborhood's need, and of course, One Roof's desire to have affordable housing continue in that neighborhood.
One Roof expects to close on a sale for the building within the next 2 months. Now, the price tag for that affordable housing complex on the east end of the property here is around $18.6 million. Crews expect to begin construction on that project come this April.
All right, thank you, Quinn. The fire department confirmed there was a routine inspection on that property back in August. The inspection found a number of fire safety issues. However, One Roof doesn't know if that electrical issue that sparked Friday's fire was listed as a hazard. Meanwhile, more than 20 people are without a home tonight after a sprinkler pipe broke, flooding a Duluth apartment unit. It happened just before noon in the Goat Hill neighborhood. A tenant there reported flooding caused her ceiling to collapse. Everyone made it out safe before crews arrived, but everyone living in the building will have to find another place to go until the water damage can be fixed. Water and power has also been turned off to stop any more damage. Minnesota is now among those leading the nation when it comes to giving out COVID shots. Governor Tim Walz announced today that Minnesota is ranked 6th in the nation for the percentage of kids ages 5 to 11 who have at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. Minnesota also ranks 2nd nationally in the percent of fully vaccinated people with booster doses. This week, the state also crossed the milestone of getting 80% of adults at least one vaccine dose. And Minnesota is expanding access to monoclonal antibody treatment for high-risk COVID patients. Monoclonal antibodies are administered through an IV to high-risk patients with mild to moderate COVID symptoms. Today, Governor Walz announced that the state is making more weekly appointments available for the treatment to alleviate pressure on hospitals. We checked in our region. There are currently appointments available in places like Cook, Grand Rapids, Grand Marais, and Bemidji. And as the fight against COVID continues in Minnesota, help is now coming for hospitals and long-term care facilities. Governor Tim Walz says federal emergency medical teams arrived in the state this week. They will help overwhelmed hospital staff. Minnesota National Guard nursing teams are also in training and should be ready to deploy to long-term care facilities by next week. The state is opening up alternative care sites, and Walz said he spoke to some hospital staff who say it's been a tough time.
People who are here are sicker than they've been, and the pressure and the wear and tear on the staff is as bad as it's been. So these moves that we're making now need to be done.
State health leaders also recommend families talk about who is vaccinated and who is not ahead of the holidays. Make a plan to get tested to ensure safe gatherings this season. And Essentia reps say locally they have been at or near capacity every day for a number of weeks now. Their COVID patient numbers are increasing, but the hospital says they're also seeing more people coming in with acute cases of other illnesses due to delayed care. They're asking everyone to get vaccinated, get their booster shots, and get tested if you have any COVID symptoms. And Dave joins us now for a quick look at the weather. Dave, it was so nice to feel kind of warm today, but it sounds like that's not going to last too long.
No, it never does this time of
No.
year. It'll be here for another day, perhaps, but that's about it. Come Thanksgiving, there'll be a bit of a cool down indeed. Yesterday, of course, was a chilly day, and that spilled over towards the midnight hour last night. So technically, when we look at the low temperatures from this morning, these happened shortly after midnight, where we dropped the temp to 6 in Hibbing and only 8 for our friends in Hayward. But then as clouds increased, the day warmed up. How warm? Much warmer than normal. The normal's around 34, and a lot of towns went up into the 40s today. Ely hit 45 degrees. Grand Marais up the Gunflint was a little bit cooler than normal still, but sometimes that's the way it rolls. 48 was the high temp in Moose Lake, 47 for Ashland, 43 in Ironwood. A similar range of temperatures could be with us again tomorrow. So on that note, we eye up this forecast that says clouds are coming back tonight. After sunshine today, it'll become mostly cloudy tonight, which keeps the low temp up to about 29 degrees. But out of the clouds for Wednesday, now it does look like we have a tiny 20% chance for a late in the day rain and snow mix. I'll talk about how long that dares to last coming up in a couple more minutes.
All right, thank you, Dave. The suspect in the Waukesha, Wisconsin parade tragedy appeared before a judge late this afternoon. 39-year-old Daryl Brooks is facing 5 counts of intentional homicide. He's accused of ramming a vehicle along a parade route, injuring dozens of people. Prosecutors also made the announcement today that a 6th person, a child, has died of their injuries.
I wish to notify the court, sadly, that today we learned of another death of a child related to this case. We do expect a 6th count.
Brooks has a long rap sheet dating back to the 90s. Earlier this month, he was accused of intentionally running over his child's mother with his vehicle. He posted $1,000 bail just days before that parade incident, an amount that the Milwaukee DA now says was inappropriately low. Today, the judge set Brooks's bail at $5 million cash. The feds are upping the push to solve cases involving missing or murdered Indigenous people. The DOJ announced today that nearly $100 million will help fund the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. It will pay for resources, outreach, investigative support, and forensic services. Last week, President Biden signed an executive order directing federal agencies to create strategies to address this crisis. The DOJ says on some reservations, Native American women are murdered at a rate more than 10 times the national average. A Hibbing man will now spend the rest of his life in prison for a deadly shooting 3 years ago. That sentence was handed down today to 32-year-old Jerome Spann. On Christmas night 3 years ago, he shot and killed Gerald Macbeth in Hibbing. Back in September, a judge found Spann guilty of premeditated murder in the first degree. Another year of turkey to go. The College of St. Scholastica has been hosting the annual Thanksgiving dinner buffet at the deck for 34 years. In the past, a large in-person buffet was held at the deck's ballroom, but since the pandemic, the event has had to change course. CBS 3's Abigail Smith shares how organizers aim to serve everyone in the community.
6,000 meals are being prepped by dozens of volunteers at the deck for its annual Thanksgiving Day buffet. Volunteers are prepping hundreds of turkeys today that will be cut up and distributed into meal boxes for families this holiday. The prep work is done by volunteers, some of who have been lending their time to the cause for years. Event organizer Monica Hendrickson says the volunteers are the heart of the event that aims to make a difference in the community. She says it's special to be able to give out food in a different way, even as the pandemic remains a concern for many families during the holidays.
There's so many people who still need help. There's a lot of families that have been affected by COVID, and even thinking about people who have just come down with COVID. That's a lot of the calls that we're getting right now is My family just came down with COVID. We can't leave. I can't pick anything up.
Wednesday is the final day of meal prep before sending out the tasty dinners. Volunteers say they've put in more than 16 hours of work to make this event a success. Through some sweat, heat, and hard work, organizers and volunteers alike say even a pandemic can't ruin the spirit of Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Abby. Community donations help make that meal distribution possible. The Duluth Police Department is offering tips to help keep you and your family safe this holiday season. They say while Black Friday shopping, you should park in well-lit areas, keep bags in the trunk of your car, lock your doors at all times, and never leave your wallet in the car. And while shopping Cyber Monday's online deals, police say you should be cautious paying with the money transfer service, and they recommend using a trustworthy website for that, and also watching out for possible scammers. And as for traveling, the DPD says every weekend from Thanksgiving to New Year's, they'll have extra patrols out watching for impaired drivers. They say to plan ahead for a sober ride. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, the Salvation Army's bell ringers are a common sound this time of year, but in the Northland, things have been a bit quieter this year. We'll explain next.
Well, taking a look at the almanac here, we see that precept-wise for the month of November, we're still running a bit of a surplus, a quarter-inch more in rain equivalent than we normally get this time of year. But we keep whittling it down because it has been on the dry side for the most part. We do have a slight chance for precip tomorrow. Will that put a dent in the deficit? I'll show you the odds and the charts with us all being together here coming up after our break.
One of our biggest sales of the year, the Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Get huge savings on our already low prices, up to 50% off. Plus, see what's new, what's in stock, and save 25% on our great accessories. Give your home that special touch. Plus, totally free shipping. Huge store-wide savings at the Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. And for better sleep, come to Slumberland Sleep Solutions and see how easy it is now to shop for a mattress.
This year, Santa's got his naughty, nice, and now his shop local list. With a unique variety of shops and restaurants, there's something for everyone at Fitkers. And for business or leisure, Fitkers Inn is Duluth's premier lakefront getaway. Fitkers. Shop, eat, sleep.
Now at Arrowhead Supply, give $50 or more to charity and receive $400 off stressless Mayfair recliners and office chairs. $200 off any stressless recliner and office chair, and $200 off each stressless sofa seat. Don't wait. It's time for stressless. Donate and save at Arrowhead Supply in Duluth.
Make this the best holiday ever with the True Love Guarantee from Numi Jewelers.
Give the gift of shimmering diamonds. Your choice just $99. Now through Small Business Saturday.
Numi Jewelers, where true love is guaranteed.
This holiday season, discover DeWitt Sites Marketplace with wonderful shops and restaurants at the heart of Duluth's waterfront in Canal Park.
At Prime Appliance, you don't have to shop early to enjoy huge savings because our Black November sale continues through the end of December. Shop normal store hours until the end of December and get great savings on refrigerators like these. Get a GE 22 cubic foot in black, just $8.96. Or a Whirlpool stainless steel 18 cubic foot, just $7.98. Financing always available. Take it home today or set up delivery. Prime Appliance, it's the best place to buy your appliances. Let us prove it to you.
I've never seen anything quite like it. It's like the guy just melted.
Vic was pulled down the drain, ice cold. Seems like he put up a fight.
I think somebody's skull smashed into that wall.
These bones, they're not the same length. You guys pulled more than one victim out of those pipes.
How's your appetite now?
A new CSI Vegas, Wednesday, 10, 9 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. CBS3 Sports is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Today's clear sky followed by high thin clouds trying to track in gave us some interesting optical phenomenon to take a look at. And Rhonda Sievers, our good friend, she always keeps an eye to the sky, got us this picture today. And of course, she always throws me these puzzlers here because you can see this thing has elements of several different things it could be. One is just a plain old halo because you do see that 22-degree arc, that ring forming on the fringes of this thing. And it also kind of looks like a pillar, which happens when you get a straight up and down shaft of sunlight. But it can't be a pillar because you can see the sun. And it's also part sundog, the way we're getting that crosshairs forming up, but we're not seeing the false suns forming on either side. So it's a bit of a puzzle, but one thing that isn't so obscure is, yeah, you get these things when you have cirrus clouds coming in. The ice crystals refract the light rays. And high, thin clouds like cirrus clouds are a sign a low is coming our way, and indeed that's what's happening. So tomorrow with a cloudier sky, we will get a chance for a little bit of a rain and snow mix. Only a 20% chance, and we'll show you the latest on the Doppler here after this look at the current conditions from Duluth International. 38 degrees the current temp, 57% for the relative humidity. South-southeast winds going 6 miles per hour. That helped warm things up today, warmer than normal in the 40s for a lot of towns. Air pressure already on the low side, 29.66 inches of mercury, and we do have that Alberta Clipper coming along the Canadian border here, led with its warm front today, which is another reason why temperatures bumped up to levels like this. Still fairly warm in the Upper Peninsula, 35 to 40. The normal's around 34. Wisconsin numbers for most places are going 41 to 43 degrees, but it does get a touch cooler by the lake in Superior, only 30 there. Minnesota numbers have dipped towards 30 in Evelyn, Virginia, down to 28 up the Gunflint Trail, but still 43 for Moose Lake, 32 International Falls, 28 Hibbing, 34 Grand Rapids. Lows tonight, not as cold as this morning or yesterday morning, likely upper 20s for a lot of places. One more warm day on tap for tomorrow before the cool down comes right in time for Thanksgiving. So here's the situation. There's the warm front that made things mild today. Here's the center of the low that's going to make it cloudy tonight, first starting high and thin and then getting lower and thicker. Cold front coming through tomorrow stirs up a 20% chance for a rain-snow mix. A rain-snow mix, if those slight odds pay off, will only deliver a trace to many of our towns. But with lake influence in the snow belt, you might go an inch or two there. So not a huge deal and should be gone by Thanksgiving itself. Tonight in Minnesota, lows 20s inland, 30s by the lake, mostly cloudy sky on deck. Wisconsin, Michigan, low temps near 30 there. And then come tomorrow, one more warm day. Wisconsin, Michigan highs 40 to 44. 30% chance for an evening mix, but only a 20% shot for folks in Minnesota. Highs 30s inland, maybe 40 down towards Moose Lake. 42 near the lake as well. Extended forecast, though, shows once this little low goes with its slight mix chance and its warmer temperatures, it's going to be replaced by Canadian high pressure, bringing back the sun for Thanksgiving, but dropping the high temp down to 22, morning low, lower double digits. And get used to that, perhaps not, because by Friday morning, back to the single digits at least for a day. Come the weekend, though, Briggs, normal. I think we'll be absolutely normal with highs in the lower 30s and low temps near 20.
Nice. Well, I've already been having a tough time getting my dog to come back inside when I let him out because he just loves the cold. Now all he wants, I think, is just a little bit of snow, maybe, to dig around in. So hopefully maybe that will be coming up soon, too.
Yeah, we want Harry the dog to be very happy. And he's a big, hairy beast, all right, so he needs the cooler conditions.
Yeah.
And you know they're coming, and we'll stick around likely for 5 months.
All right. Well, he'll hold you to that.
All right.
Thanks, Dave. Well, it looks like this year's deer hunting season wasn't as good as the last in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. The Wisconsin DNR says firearm hunters harvested about 86,000 deer during this past weekend's opener. That compares to the 100,000 during the same weekend a year ago. Harvest numbers were also down year to year during opening weekend here in Minnesota. We're still awaiting final numbers for Minnesota's full 9-day season. The Salvation Army's bell ringers are a familiar sound this time of year, but this holiday season, things have started off a bit quieter. Due to a lack of volunteers, the greater Duluth area Salvation Army has had to leave many of their red kettles unmanned. In fact, volunteer numbers are about 70% behind what they usually are this time of year, leaving 3,000 hours unfilled. That means fewer donations for the nonprofit. Christy Eckhart, though Salvation Army's kettle coordinator, says even an hour or two helps.
Even just your time can make a huge impact. And it can be really rewarding for you and your family, and it can be something that you can do every year and make an ongoing tradition. People have really had a lot of fun bell ringing.
For more information on how you can help out, we have a link on our website. Alexis Bass is here now. Alexis, what do we got going on in sports tonight?
Well, unfortunately, Briggs, some tough news out of Amsoil this afternoon. A UMD goaltender has announced that he's received an unexpected diagnosis, but it will not keep him from the ice. He's determined by that. And a UMD football player leaving his legacy behind post the finale of their season. Iowa Real in Sports next.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Join us weeknights. We're live at 5 as we go around the Northland, city by city.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Blue Cross made it easy to find a plan that fits my needs.
If you're looking for a Medicare plan, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota can help you understand your Medicare benefits and choices with this free guide.
The guide helped me understand what Medicare does and doesn't cover, and how I could add coverage if I wanted to.
With 96% of Minnesota doctors and hospitals in the Blue Cross network, plus a broad selection of affordable Medicare plans developed for Minnesotans by Minnesotans. It's no wonder nearly half of all Minnesota seniors has a Blue Cross Medicare plan. From Bemidji to Blue Earth, Twin Cities to Two Harbors, Blue Cross has you covered.
I get to keep my doctor, and I'm saving money. Can't beat that.
Go online or call the number on your screen now for your free Medicare decision guide from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. You and Blue, because together is better.
I'm Dr. Yin Dong. I'm a cardiac electrophysiologist at St. Luke's. I'm basically the electrician of the heart. Anything to do with the heart signaling system, if your heart's going too fast, too slow, irregular, that's what I deal with. Especially within electrophysiology, there are so many amazing treatments, so much that we can offer patients to improve their quality of life and to save their lives. Seeing patients improve just makes everything so worthwhile.
Eric Paulson here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and discoverwisconsin.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Cabin Podcast, available wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Oh yes, I remember. It was on Christmas Eve many years ago. I was on my way to my grandparents' house in Duluth. We were on a train.
And the train became snarled in a horrific storm. Everyone feared that Christmas would be lost. But what the little girl and train conductor did next saved Christmas for everyone. This is the Christmas City Express, a train ride and storytelling experience on the North Shore Scenic Railroad in Duluth. Tickets and information at DuluthTrains.com. The Christmas City Express is your ticket to fun holiday memories for your entire family.
All aboard!
Northwest Outlet is #1 when it comes to kids' winter clothing. Check out our Black Friday specials till November 27th. They carry everything to keep them warm and dry in sizes infant to extra large for youth. Jackets, winter coats, snow pants, bibs, mitts, gloves, hats, and smart wool socks. And winter boots from Kamek and Baffin and more. So keep the kids warm and dry this winter with the best from the North Face and Columbia. Shop Northwest Outlet, the children's winter clothing store. 1814 Belknap Superior. Happy holidays from Northwest Outlet.
UMD sophomore goaltender Zach Stejskal hasn't played since the Icebreaker tournament back in October. Initially, the team listed Stejskal out with an injury, but today Stejskal revealed that he has been dealing with something away from the ice. In a sit-down interview released by UMD Athletics, Stejskal opened up about his situation and that he was diagnosed with testicular cancer after noticing something was off and going to the doctor. The Cohasset, Minnesota native has since had surgery and is currently going through chemotherapy treatment. He says he is doing well and feeling pretty good. In the interview, which was with athletic director Josh Burlow, Stage School says he's taking it head on and even adds in all caps, "I do plan to play hockey yet this season." He wants to encourage people to go to their regular health screenings and do not ignore things when they do not feel right. Earlier this month, fellow UMD goaltender Ben Pat organized a fundraiser through the men's health organization Movember. If you'd like to donate to their cause, we have a link on our website. At long last, the high school hockey season is finally back in the Northland. Game one of many is tonight here in the Twin Ports. It's over in Wisconsin as Superior is preparing to host Menominee. The Spartans are coming off a run to state tournament last February. They graduated 6 seniors, including starting goaltender Jamin Durfree. The puck drops at 7 o'clock tonight at the Superior Ice Arena. For the first meeting between the Mustangs and Spartans since January of 2020, we will have all of the latest and greatest from the ice coming up tonight at 10. The nationally ranked number 14 Bulldogs host St. Cloud tonight, which has transpired into one of the biggest NSIC rivalries over the years. The last time the Dogs saw the Huskies was in the conference championship, where UMD took the cake 67-55. This year, both teams coming in with seasoned squads. And in Romano Gymnasium currently, the score is at the halftime where it is 34-26. Olsen leads the Dogs with a dozen. And my captain, redshirt fifth-year linebacker Nate Pearson is leaving Bulldog country after making a major mark. UMD standout and former Northwestern Tiger has not only led his team to a conference championship in 2018 and most recently this year in his 2021 campaign, but throughout his 6 years in a maroon and gold uniform, Pearson has capped off his career with 27 career sacks, which ranks second all-time in the UMD program history books. A big congratulations to him. And Briggs, back to our story in the beginning of sports. I mean, a huge shout out to Sash State School's family and friends. And I know that we ran a story with a former or current UMD hockey player that also struggled, Will Francis, with a battle with cancer, but also won it. So hopefully he can give some words of wisdom to him. And as State School said, he plans to be back on the ice, which is really encouraging to see that.
Yeah, that's great to hear, especially for a team, you know, going through so much. It's great to see them supporting each other like that.
Yes, and go ahead and donate. And the fact that his whole team is behind him on that is absolutely huge.
Awesome, great to see. All right, well, let's take a look at what's coming up tonight at 10. For the second year in a row, the deck has had to make some changes to a Duluth tradition. Tonight, we'll hear from event leaders who explain that despite the pandemic, they still plan to fill bellies this Thanksgiving. So, Dave, a little bit of a warmer night for us tonight.
Yeah, it won't be so bad. Upper 20s for most of our low temps, much better than the single digits other places have had other days. Wednesday, 20% chance for a rain-snow mix, followed by a cool down and a clear up come Thanksgiving, which could spill into Friday morning.
We'll see you back here at 10.